Today's episode of the Unmeasured podcast is all about experiencing better body image. And I want to set this intention right up front for this episode. And my intention for this episode is that when you finish listening, you are going to have really clear next steps that you can take to help you to start to experience better body image. We are having this conversation because a wonderful listener wrote in and shared the following. I've struggled with negative feelings about my body off and on since I was a kid. I've always felt too chubby or too flabby or too big or too fat. I've tried intense workouts and different diets, and I always end up feeling like I can't maintain it and end up back in this place of feeling so dissatisfied with my body. I know I need to work on having better body image. How can I do that? So, the first thing that I want to share when we talk about having better body image is what does it actually mean to experience healthier, more positive body image? There is a huge misconception that makes doing actual body image work very, very challenging. So I want to bust that myth first and foremost. And this myth, this misconception is that having better body image or having positive body image means that you love the way that your body looks, that you look in the mirror and you think, I love the way my body looks. I feel positively about how my body looks. This is not what it means to experience better body image. I really want to help you to understand what it looks like and what it means to have more positive body image right up front, because that is going to make everything else that we talk about more possible for you. So, the first thing is that developing the ability to act lovingly toward yourself, even in those moments when it feels really hard to feel lovingly towards your body, right? So just because you don't feel in love with your body doesn't mean you can't act lovingly towards your body. And having a more positive body image means that you believe that all bodies are deserving of care and respect, and that includes yours, right? So that's where we come to this idea that even when we don't feel in love with the way that our bodies look, we can still act lovingly towards our bodies because we know and believe that all bodies are deserving of care and respect, and that includes ours. So this is a huge, powerful shift. Just because you don't feel in love with your body or the way your body looks doesn't mean you cannot choose to act lovingly towards your body. And then the second component is learning how to love yourself, your whole self, who you are, not just what your body looks like. And this really requires separating how your body looks from your value and developing a deeper sense of self-worth and identity. So those are two things that I just want to say right up front is like, let's be honest about what it means to have a more positive body image. And that is really about believing and knowing that all bodies are deserving of care and respect, and that includes yours. And that allows us to act with care and respect towards our bodies, even in those moments when we don't love the way that we look. Improved body image allows us to experience more body trust, less internalized pressure to fix our bodies through extreme and unhealthy measures, the ability to feel more present in our bodies in the moment. And that means the ability to experience more attunement. It helps us to make choices that feel best for us. It helps us to actually get to fully experience the things in our lives. It helps us to experience deeper self-compassion and truly the freedom to live a life that is more authentic and feels more fulfilling. So these are just some of the things that improved body image allow us to experience. Right up front, I want to share three practices, three things that you can do, tangible things that you can do, clear next steps that you can do right off the bat if you are seeking to experience better body image. The first is detoxing the messages that you are choosing to take in, and then adding in messages that feel more supportive. So, this is really, really important and essential in the world today, right? We are exposed to so many images, to so many messages throughout the day because of technology, because of social media. I mean, so many more messages and images than people experienced 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago. And because we acknowledge that we are worthy of care and respect, one of the ways that we can care and respect for ourselves is being intentional about the messages and images that we opt into and do a little detox around that, right? So if there are certain accounts that you follow on social media, and this doesn't mean that you opting out of certain messages or images mean that those messages or images are wrong. That's not what we're saying. But what we are saying is that they may not be supportive for you where you are at in your body image journey. That's all it is. It's just about what is your experience with these messages, with these images, and is it supportive of you? Does it feel like care and respect to be consuming these messages? And so that might mean unfollowing certain accounts, unsubscribing from certain emails, deleting certain apps off your phone, whatever it may be, right? So detox the messages that you are choosing to take in. And I want to empower you to add in images and messages that feel more supportive for you. There has been research done that proves that people experience healthier, more positive body image when they are exposed to body diversity in their day-to-day lives. So if all of the images that you are seeing, let's say on social media, are of like one specific body type, let's say, and you're seeing that predominantly over and over again, you're going to have better body image if you can add in more body diversity to those images that you are consuming. Body diversity is normal and natural. All human beings are not made to look exactly the same. We're not all made to be the same size. We're not all made to look exactly the same. Body diversity is natural. It is a good thing. It is meant to be, right? And when we are only seeing one type of body or one way that a body can look, it plays mind tricks on us, right? We feel like, okay, this is the way my body's supposed to look, and I have to try to make my body look this way. And if my body doesn't look this way, then I don't feel as valuable, or I don't feel like I have as much worth, or I feel like my body is a problem that needs to be fixed. When we are actually exposed to the very normal, natural, meant to be body diversity that exists in the world, we, by way of that, naturally experience fewer negative thoughts about our bodies. So that's the first thing, detoxing the messages that you're choosing to take in. And then the second thing is adding in images and messages that feel more supportive. The third that thing that I want to share with you, a next step that you can take, is one of my absolute favorite practices to do with my private coaching clients when we are doing work together that has some component of body image work as part of it. So if I'm working with a client either on her relationship with food or exercise or her body, we almost always do this exercise. And it is an incredible exercise that you can do as many times as you want to in your life. It's not necessarily a one and done practice. It's something that you really can revisit anytime. And it is a letter writing exercise. And you're going to write two letters. The first letter that you are going to write is from your mind to your body. So everything, that you're thinking about your body, that you want to say to your body, you write it all down, like, dear body, and you say it all in that letter. Then the second letter is the response from your body to your mind. And this letter can be so powerful because it helps you to connect with your body, with what your body wants, with how your body feels, with what your body needs. And it really can begin to create deeper mind body connection, but also helping you to shift from that place of self judgment into a more compassionate relationship with your body. And the letter from your body to your mind can also often shed light on what would it look like to act lovingly towards your body? What would it look like to care and respect your body with your actions? Your body will oftentimes communicate those things directly to you when you write that response letter. So, those are three practices right off the bat, next steps that I absolutely know will help to support you in experiencing better body image. And the next thing that I want to share with you is a 4-step practice for moving through challenging body image moments. So, I'm going to give an example of what a challenging body image moment might be. One that, I've talked to many clients, many private clients over the years about. And that is, imagine for a moment that you're pulling on a pair of jeans. They were in your closet. It's been a while since you've worn them. You go to pull them on and you notice that they feel a little tighter than usual, right? You realize that these jeans that used to fit really comfortably the last time you tried them on no longer fit comfortably. And we're going to use this as an example to talk through this 4-step practice, because I do think that examples like this can be helpful in expressing how the practice actually looks when you are working it in your own relationship with your body. So let's say you pull on those jeans, they used to fit, they don't fit so well anymore. In that moment, I want to encourage you to notice how you feel. In a tough body image moment, it is common to feel guilt or shame or anxiety or judgment or fear, maybe all of those things around your body. And all of this happens in a split second. You try on the pants and have the awareness that they no longer fit, you naturally are going to have to start to have thoughts that are rooted in your subconscious. And then those thoughts are going to inform the feelings that you have next. So these certain thoughts in the moment, which our subconscious thoughts around our body are typically informed by diet culture, then create the feelings that you have in that experience. So in the case of jeans fitting tight or not fitting at all, it will likely be thoughts around what you believe your body changing or gaining weight or your body getting bigger, what you make that mean about you. Diet culture in general teaches us that the problem is our body. But even deeper than that, the problem is you, right? So if your body does not look like this one image of a body, then your body is a problem to be fixed. But also deeper than that, that you are a problem. So notice what you might make gaining weight mean about you, and you'll see that it isn't typically simply about changes in weight. It's about the deeper meaning that you've assigned to that about your worth or morality or identity or enoughness that makes that moment especially hard, especially challenging, especially triggering. And within diet culture, we know that that is rooted in fat phobia, which is a fear of fatness. There is an absolutely incredible book written by a sociologist, Dr. Sabrina Strings, called Fearing the Black Body. And of all of the books I've read about the history of diet culture and the roots of diet culture and the roots of our challenges that so many of us have experienced in our relationships with our body, this book is the most well-researched, the most thorough in terms of walking you step by step through how we ended up as a society that experiences our bodies in this way. And and part of what we learn in this book is that diet culture is rooted in fat phobia. And fat phobia is rooted in racism. So it really takes you back and back and back. It's like an onion, it peels back the layers. So if that's something that you think would be helpful for you to understand specifically why it is the way that it is, right? Why our society is the way that it is. That book is so well researched. So Virgie Tovar, she describes three levels of fat phobia. Okay. So there's intrapersonal, that's how you see yourself. There's interpersonal, how others see and treat you. And then there's institutional, which is about access to society. And when we have that panicked response, when we pull those jeans on and they're a little tight, the panic response to that is first intrapersonal. And it may also be the fear of interpersonal or institutional as well, right? So we just want to have that awareness. I think this context is incredibly helpful because it helps us to have more of an understanding of what we're experiencing, why we're experiencing it, and also to offer ourselves compassion, which has a component of common humanity. And when we understand all of these elements that are playing into that one quick moment of pulling on those jeans and starting to panic, we are able to be more compassionate with ourselves because we realize, oh, this isn't just a me thing. Many people have this experience, and I understand why. So while it may have taken just a split second for you to try on a pair of jeans only to feel like really badly about yourself because they didn't fit, there are so many layers going on here. And even though the negative or more challenging body thoughts and feelings are temporary, they are still very, very challenging because those feelings of shame and guilt and judgment, fear, anxiety can be so uncomfortable. And because you're likely making the body changes mean something about you, your worth, your enoughness, your identity, it is natural to experience an urgency in that moment to relieve the discomfort and fix the problem that created it in the first place, right? It is natural to have that urgency. And in that moment of urgency, it can feel like the only option to fix the situation, to get out of those feelings of discomfort, is to fix your body. And I'm going to say fix in quotes. Usually, this leads to some sort of attempt, or a plan to attempt trying to shrink or control your body or lose weight through some form of manipulating what you eat or how you move. And it's so valuable to offer yourself compassion in this moment, which is why I gave the context of the historical roots of a feeling in this moment, right? Because that helps us to have compassion. Because this is just a way of coping with the discomfort. There is a positive intention behind everything that we do as human beings. And you are not doing this to harm yourself or hurt your relationship with your body. You're doing this to cope with the discomfort. And again, that helps you to have that understanding. It's like, wow, yeah, I'm very uncomfortable in that moment. And I'm trying to fix that for myself. And diet culture has taught me that the way to do that is to try to manipulate my body. But in those moments, I want to help support you by showing you a different way to respond. One that doesn't reinforce the diet culture messages and beliefs that your body is a problem to be fixed, but allows you to start to relate to your body in a different way and allows you to start to embody better body image, right? So embodying we what we believe and know to be true, which is that all bodies are deserving of care and respect, including yours. In that moment, when you feel challenged in terms of body image, when you feel triggered, you have an opportunity to choose. And I want to empower you with that. You are responsible for how you treat yourself. And I hope that that feels empowering and will allow you to see that you have choice in that moment, a choice around how you treat yourself. We feel what we feel, right? Your feelings are your feelings in that moment, and you get to have your feelings. And you also have a choice of what you do next. So when you try those pants on and let's say they no longer fit, bring awareness to that choice. You can choose to go down the path of trying to fix your body with, eating or exercise that tries to punish your body or control it, or you can choose to act differently. Because even when you don't feel in love with how your body looks, and everyone has moments when they don't love how their bodies look. Everyone. I don't know a single person who doesn't have moments like that. But even when you don't feel in love with how your body looks, you can choose to act with love, so with care and respect towards your body. I'm going to share 4 steps. I'm going to break down these 4 steps that will serve as a supportive framework for acting with love through the discomfort. And it's going to help you to strengthen that self-trust and that self-compassion and that self-connection and begin to heal and improve your body image. So 4 steps to experiencing better body image. The first step is identifying and removing the trigger. So in this case, the jeans example, the trigger would be the pair of jeans that no longer fit. And then you do your best to remove the trigger so that you actually have space to process what's going on. So this would look like taking the pants off, putting them away, and changing into an outfit that does fit and feels comfortable on your body today, right? So that's a really tangible example of what that is. The second step is offering yourself self-compassion and working to regulate your nervous system. So self-compassion has 3 parts, according to Dr. Kristen Neff. And I have an entire podcast episode about self-compassion. So you can always tune in to that for a deeper conversation around self-compassion. The 3 parts of self-compassion are kindness, common humanity, and mindfulness. So in this jeans example, it might sound like, wow, this is so hard. This feels so uncomfortable. And these jeans no longer fit. I am not alone in this experience. I know that all bodies go through changes, and this is part of being human. Regardless of how I feel about the way my body looks in this moment, I am deserving of respect and care right now. So that's just an example of what self-compassion sounds like. And then at this point, you can start to take steps to help to regulate your nervous system. So to shift out of that fight, flight, freeze, and please mode, right? This is a way of telling your nervous system that you're not in immediate danger or harm, that you are safe, and it allows your body to get regulated. So some favorite practices are water. If you can get into a shower, if you could run your hands underwater, water can be really helpful for regulating the nervous system. Fresh air, nature, that might be stepping outside for 90 seconds. It might be going on a hike, right? Different things are available to different people in moments. Listening to a song that calms you or helps to shift your mood. Dancing to a song, movement can be really helpful. Sensory work, so tuning in with all of your senses. What do you see? What do you hear? What do you smell? What do you feel? You could definitely do a guided meditation or breath work like 4-7-8 breathing or box breathing if those things are supportive for you. You could pray. You could lie with your legs up the wall. So lying on your back with your legs up the wall, or doing a practice called shaking, quite literally like shaking your body, shaking your arms, bouncing your legs, shaking to allow the energy and the emotion to move up and through you. So these are just examples of practices that you can do, short practices that you can do to help to regulate your nervous system. So that second step, offering yourself that self-compassion and taking a step or 2 to regulate your nervous system. The third step is to trade judgment for curiosity. Once you have done the first 2 steps and you feel safe from immediate danger, it is time to get curious with yourself. Curiosity is, in my opinion, the most powerful way to shift out of judgment. And it's also how you create deeper self-connection. So there are so many ways to be curious with yourself and so many prompts that I could share here, but I'm going to give you just a few and keep it simple. You can also create your own prompts as well. So Some of my favorite questions to help me find more peace or neutrality in my body are, before I tried on these jeans, how did I feel in my body? So this is helping you to shift from how you feel about your body to how you feel in your body. And it also helps to acknowledge that feelings are temporary, right? Right? So the second thing is acknowledging the facts and then responding with, isn't that interesting? So this might look like, those jeans don't fit me today. Isn't that interesting? A triggering moment can be so charged and create a really negative association with the facts, but this question allows it to be information rather than judgment, and it allows the experience to become more neutral. So the facts and then responding with, isn't that interesting? And then the third thing is, what am I making this mean about me? And then what else might be true or possible or even more probable, right? So we know that the meaning that we derive from experiences impact our actions and our beliefs about ourselves. So this reframe allows you to start to shift the meaning that you've assigned to an experience, which helps you to shift that cycle. So an example of this might be going from, oh, my body is disgusting because these jeans don't fit, right? That's what I'm making it mean about me. And then what else might be true? These jeans are not the right pants for my body right now. There are other pants that will fit me better right now, right? That's also another reality that that might be true. Maybe the meaning you assign to it is, nobody will love me if I gain weight. What else might be true? The people who truly love me for who I am, not the size jeans that I wear. These jeans have nothing to do with the quality of person that I am. So you start to shift in that moment. And then the last question is, what would I say or offer to a friend in a moment like this? And that is just a really helpful way to connect with that compassionate voice. And then you can find the language and then you can offer that to yourself. And then the fourth step is a mantra, an affirmation, a reminder that I have come back to over and over again. And it is truly my body image philosophy, which is, look at it less, live in it more. And this allows you to honor your needs and say yes to your life. When we have a triggering body image moment, we often move into self objectification. So, thinking about our bodies as objects separate from ourselves, there's a separation and a disconnection. And when you go to that place of seeing your body as a problem to be fixed, you disconnect from yourself and your needs. So, shifting this perspective from my body is a problem to be fixed to I am always deserving of care and respect, you have the opportunity to reconnect with yourself as a whole person with valid needs. So, in this moment, you can say, like, what do I need? Nourishment, rest, encouragement, connection, fresh air, etc. You can really connect with yourself in that moment and then live in your body more. Look at it less and live in it more. I hope that this episode has provided you with some next steps that you can take to experience better body image and also a framework to help you to move through those challenging body image moments and return to that place of showing your body the care and respect that it is so deserving of, that you are so deserving of.